Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. First of all, the countdown. There are 61 days left until Field Marshal Asim Munir's second retirement and the arrival of the new army chief in the country. I had told you earlier that these remaining days won't pass quietly. Not for Pakistan, nor for the Pakistani public. And then I said this for the entire term. Everything that I mentioned is now starting to unfold. Important developments are beginning to emerge. The first news today is related to this very topic. In fact, I would say, Allah al-Haq, God, is truth. Another of our reports has proven to be accurate, and Pakistan has come out on top. Not just in numbers, but number one on top. And congratulations to all of you, especially Field Marshal Asim Munir. Also to Maryam Nawaz, Shahbaz Sharif, Nawaz Sharif and the PMLN party for finally becoming number one in something. They've tried to come out on top, but in the one thing they've succeeded in, we can only call them number one. That's all we can say. Today, former President Trump, standing next to the Israeli Prime Minister in the United States, made an announcement. He stated that Pakistan is the first country in the world to back President Trump's 202-point peace plan that was published by the Washington Post. The plan has not been fully released yet, but now the whole world is discussing it. Nearly the same plan that was printed by the Washington Post is now being referred to as the final plan. Clearly, Pakistan must have known about this plan, and we had told you that our information was once again accurate. When Field Marshal Asim Munir had lunch, we had informed you that the matter was important. Afterward, when Field Marshal and Shahbaz Sharif met, we informed you that the issue wasn't about some small matters. Those big things we were placing in front of you were not the issue. The matter is much bigger. Today, the formal announcement was made from the White House. Congratulations to Pakistan, which is now beginning to be included among the major countries of the world. In fact, it has already been included. Today, the US President said that Pakistan is the first country to support the 21-point peace plan. Of course, he did not explicitly say first, but it is clear that Pakistan is the first country to officially announce this. He stated that both the Pakistani Prime Minister and the head of the military, Field Marshal Asim Munir, fully back President Trump's plan. Let me read out what President Trump said. He said, the Prime Minister and the Field Marshal of Pakistan just put out a statement that they fully believe in this plan. This just came out. I was there. You have big notice from the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the Field Marshal that they back this 100%. Did you hear that? That was President Trump's statement. He did not say this himself. President Trump made this statement later. But before that, Shahbaz Sharif had already tweeted about it. In his tweet, Shahbaz Sharif fully supported President Trump's peace proposal. This shows that President Trump's interpretation of Shahbaz Sharif's statement is completely correct. This is not all. If we analyze this further, there's another development. The Israeli Prime Minister was also present alongside President Trump today. He stated that this peace plan isn't just about the 21 points listed. It includes accepting Israel's recognition and other reforms that aren't clearly visible at the moment. The Israeli Prime Minister clarified his position in front of the world, stating that those who endorse this peace plan are also implicitly recognizing Israel, and alongside that, they will have to make other changes, such as in the form of reforms. Now, many analysts in Pakistan are commenting on this. For instance, Ali Khan has given his analysis, and there are reports in various newspapers as well. He mentions that the Palestinian side has some reservations about this entire peace plan. One major concern is that there are rumors that Tony Blair might be appointed as the governor of Palestine. The governor of Gaza would be Tony Blair, and there would be no local authority in Palestine. They would not have a police force, military, or even a navy. Their security would be provided by other countries, including the US, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. Another fear is that the West Bank and Gaza might be separated. The new system is said to separate the two entities, which could lead to problems for the Palestinians. According to Ali Khan, out of the 20 points in the plan, At least 13 are problematic for the Palestinians and might not be acceptable to them. In Pakistan, Hamid Mir has tweeted strongly. He said that the founder of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam, had stated that as long as Palestine's independence is not recognized, Pakistan cannot recognize Israel. This matter is still being discussed widely in Pakistan. We previously informed you that the meeting between Field Marshal Asim Munir and Shahbaz Sharif and the warm reception from President Trump wasn't about some small gifts or meetings. The matter is bigger than that, and now it has come out into the open. This issue will be discussed in the coming days in Pakistan and people will share their opinions. We'll see how Field Marshal Asim Munir and others respond. As you remember, I had told you that we are ready for all outcomes. The next news comes from Kashmir, where 20 cities have been completely shut down. The Kashmiris have truly proven today that they are a strong community. The ongoing conflict between Kashmir and India, the struggle in occupied Kashmir for the past 40 to 50 years, and today the people of Azad Kashmir have demonstrated their unity and determination. Even local police in Kashmir refused to act against the protesters, stating they would not beat their own people. This entire scenario in Kashmir, along with the diplomatic moves, is unfolding. We will continue to follow this closely as it develops. We don't want to do anything, so now, even though we know that the police there have given up, the police from Islamabad have been moved, rangers have been moved, and today, yet again, a martyrdom has occurred there. Anyway, first of all, I would like to report that this has been a very effective strike. In my opinion, I've rarely seen such an effective strike in other parts of the country because I consider Azad Kashmir a part of Pakistan. We stand shoulder to shoulder with our brothers in Azad Kashmir, understanding that they are struggling for their rights. They are fighting for the rule of law, for the end of corruption, and for the right to choose their own representatives. They don't want the puppets that have been imposed on them by our generals. They want to choose their own leaders. Puppet governments have always been installed there and the real leadership has been eliminated. The situation in Balochistan has been replicated in Azad Kashmir. Now there is a leadership there that works hand in hand with the people. If any independent leader emerges, our generals don't like them and they suppress them. Just look at what happened to our own Chief Minister of Gilgit-Baltistan, Khalid Khurshid, who was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Independent leadership is not liked there. The current situation is that there has been a shutdown. A complete strike took place in 20 cities and it was silent, disciplined work. If only this kind of spirit existed in other parts of Pakistan, Punjab, Sindh, KP and Balochistan, perhaps the situation wouldn't have been as dire. The brothers, sisters, daughters, mothers, children and elders of Kashmir have proven today that when a nation comes together, it can carry out such an effective protest. During the public protest, people dressed in police uniforms were also seen. The government side labelled them as extremists, but it seems that the police themselves are part of this protest because everyone is saying, enough is enough. On the other hand, it is being reported that people from the Muslim League Nawaz extension in the region fired on a member of the National Unity Front, martyred them, and after that martyrdom, similar actions were carried out, just as on November 26th in the blue area here. I've told you before that the colonel from Lahore, the brigadier, is using the same tactics there, but in Kashmir, the result is different because the people there are Kashmiris. Despite the martyrdom, people have come out on the streets. People have refused to stay at home out of fear. Normally, when someone is martyred or shot, people disperse out of fear, but they have refused to do so, and people are still out on the streets. Even as I'm recording this late at night, people are still on the streets protesting, and the situation is escalating. There are 38 demands, and they are very justified. I have seen all of them, and there is no unjust demand. But the stubbornness of our people is that they ask, what else can be done? The Unity Committee has said that they have never broken a pot, symbolizing peaceful protest. Our protest has always been peaceful, but today we were fired upon, and our people were martyred. We will not stop now. Interestingly, in Azad Kashmir, people have detained some security personnel. They were described in the news as half-soldiers. But there is no such thing as half-soldiers. These were either rangers or other security personnel, but I would simply call them security personnel. The public caught them and seized their weapons. The security personnel started crying when they were arrested because the people are highly committed and unwilling to back down. The situation in Azad Kashmir is worsening rapidly. The plan to crush the public's rights is intensifying. The internet has been shut down, mobile services are down, and transportation has been halted. Kashmiris living abroad are facing immense difficulties as they cannot contact their loved ones. The purpose is clear: to suppress the voice of the public, to suppress this public protest. We will have to see how things unfold in the coming days. What you've done in Baluchistan and what you're doing in KP is pushing the situation to a boiling point. Now you have created the same conditions in Azad Kashmir. You're using sticks, bullets and guns there as well, without realizing that these wounds will not be forgotten for generations. Field Marshal Asim Munir should seriously reflect on why he is doing this, because the consequences of these actions will be dire for Pakistan in the long run. The next big news is about the Islamabad High Court. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has reinstated Justice Tariq Mahmood Jahangiri, who had been suspended. Justices Dogar and Azam Khan, who are Chief Justices, had stopped him from working in the Islamabad High Court. The matter got worse when Justice Tariq Mahmood Jahangiri appealed in the Supreme Court. When the case was heard, the head of the Constitutional Bench, Aminuddin, tried to write the verdict in 2 sessions, just to issue a notice and stop Justice Jahangiri from working. However, Munir Malik, who was probably Justice Jahangiri's lawyer, raised his voice in the Supreme Court, urging them not to make this an unconstitutional move. The Constitutional Bench then allowed Justice Tariq Mahmood Jahangiri to resume work, overturning Justice Dogar's decision. However, this is a temporary relief because in October a Judicial Commission session has been called where they will discuss the issue of his degree, which was cancelled by the Sindh High Court and challenged in the Supreme Court. This situation is being closely watched, as Justice Tariq Mahmood Jahangiri has now challenged the fake degree ruling in the Sindh High Court, and we will see what the Supreme Court decides. Unfortunately, Pakistani lawyers are more concerned about their personal gains than the public interest. They chant slogans, but few are actively working on the ground. Some have taken plots, while others are just sitting idle. A few days ago, Najam Sethi made an interesting remark. He said that when you go in front of Mehdi Hassan, he doesn't care about taking plots from you. He is an independent person. I think Najam Sethi showed the local media and the ministers a mirror with that comment. Now, regarding the Supreme Court lawyers' plots, it is important to note that the agreements with DHA, that is, the Defence Housing Authority, for these plots have been finalised. The development of these plots will be handled by DHA, and this project has already been advertised in the newspapers. This shows the ongoing involvement in the project, but there is no sincerity towards any real cause. The next news is about Imran Khan and Gandapur. The report is that their meeting lasted more than 2.5 hours. We don't know exactly how long the meeting in the jail lasted, but the outside meeting was said to be for 2.5 hours. Imran Khan didn't speak to the media after the meeting and left without any comment. Gandapur had previously stated that our military generals were not allowing him to meet with Imran Khan. He had said that he was not being allowed to meet. But today, unexpectedly, he was allowed to meet Imran Khan. You need to think about why permission was granted for this meeting. Did something happen inside the country that led to this? Or is there a reason linked to foreign affairs, specifically in the Middle East, where Pakistan might need public support? If you look at the situation in the Middle East, Field Marshal only considers one thing: public response. There is no other way to control the situation. The remaining option is to rely on Imran Khan, who is a popular leader, as the people would follow him. So, was this meeting with Gandapur allowed for the same reason? I'm only speculating about this. The sudden permission for the meeting and the discussions that took place inside the jail are interesting and worth following. I'll keep you updated on this matter in the coming days. That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.